killing every single person in the grove is the right choice, and I'm going to tell you why and destroy them. So let's start with an easy one. Kaga. She literally murders a child if the player doesn't intervene. She plans to close off the grove, kicking out all the tieflings and their innocent children to their certain deaths, and also leaving Halsin out in the cold. But you know, I can forgive that. Halsin's a weirdo, dude. And she does all this while working for the Shadow Druids. Basically just a bunch of evil midget furries. Speaking of the Shadow Druids, they also deserve to die. All three of them, plotting to violently take control of the grove. And the last thing anyone wants is a bunch of violent furries roaming the world. We need someone that's diplomatic enough to raise an army to take on the powers of the grove. And the first person that comes to my mind, of course, is Flipfrickens. He's the bravest and most fit bard for the job, but before he could set off on his adventure to take down the grove, he was kidnapped by Squidward monsters. But luckily for our hero, ugly green elves came to his rescue because they knew Flipfrickens was just a chill guy. Flipfrickens broke free from the tube and used his diplomatic skills to get one of the ugly elves known as Lae'zel to assist him in his escape. They killed a few red midgets and freed a woman with a silly haircut to assist Flipfrickens on his quest to take down the grove. They proceeded to expertly crash the ship, killing just about every single Squidward monster and demon on board, while also landing close to the grove. Nettie. She is quite the deceptuous little druid, tricking the player into thinking that she'll help them out, only to poison them, and all she has to say for herself is she's sorry. Like, frick you, Nettie. She deserves what's coming. Flipfrickens killed the remaining Squidwards and gathered up those willing to assist him on his quest to destroy the evil and corrupt grove, and actually made his way to the grove to get the lay of the place to properly plan how to take it down. When Flipfrickens and his crew arrived at the grove's gate, they found a group of adventurers being attacked by goblins, taking note of the goblins being a potential ally to destroy the grove. Flipfrickens had to save the troubled adventurers, so him and his crew sprung into action, destroying the goblins and saving the adventurers. Wrath. He seems like the nicest guy, but he's not quite what he seems. He only truly wants Halsin to return so he can convince him to make him the next in line to be ruler of the grove. But not because Kaga is clearly unfit and insane. It's because he has an unbelievable hunger for power that simply being a druid can never satisfy. He wants the power to be able to satisfy all of his earthly pleasures. So he's unfit to be alive. So I'm gonna kill him. Aaron. He actually scams the tieflings, raising the prices for only the horned people of the grove. Not cool, man. And I'll quickly go through the rest of the druids. Giorna. She kicks kids. Minnow. He steals what little the tieflings have left. Magrin. He turns into a bear to terrorize the tieflings, cause he's racist. Ayler. Stoned fisherman to death. Inui smacks people for no reason. Pretty rude. Tahan uses her height to pretend to be a child. Weirdo. Ilwyn is simply racist. Just racist. That's all they do. Racism's not cool though. Karik. He's a nudist. Picassis. Drugs people she doesn't like. Loik. He eats way more than his fair share of food. Markoyle. He assassinated another druid that he didn't like very much. Once inside the grove, the tiefling in charge and the lead adventurer got into an argument. Flipfrickens, noticing the human was about to strike the tiefling, of course, didn't do anything. The tiefling got completely laid out on the ground, and Flipfrickens helped himself to the unconscious man's items. After taking a quick look around, Flipfrickens had the lay of the lands and went off to find who the goblins worked for. He took a nice walk and convinced the kind goblins to let him through. Once inside the stronghold, Flipfrickens found the leader, Minthara, and told her about his plans to take down the grove and end their horrible reign over the lands. Minthara, entranced by the glorious form of Flipfrickens, agreed to help him and said she'd ready her army to take down the grove by next light. Now it's time to talk about the tieflings, starting with Zevlor. He's an intense gaslighter of a leader. He has done unmoral and cowardice things just to live and gaslight his people into thinking that those things never actually happened. Unbelievable. Alfira. Her music is so bad. It's so bad that she caused many ear bleeds, and those ear bleeds have caused the deaths of a few people. So she's really gotta respec into like a rogue so she can hide from what's to come. So after such a long and productive day, Flipfrickens and his crew set up camp and got some well-deserved rest for the fight to come. But before bed, Flipfrickens and his crew started to feel very ill. Lae'zel, being the paranoid frog she is, put a knife to Flipfrickens' throat and started talking crazy about turning into Squidward monsters. Flipfrickens calmed her down, letting her know that being a little sick is a pretty normal thing. So they went to bed and woke up refreshed and ready for the epic battle to come. Flipfrickens took his team to go inside the grove and open the gate to lead the charge into battle. The tieflings almost killed him though, by being racist and thinking all short creatures are goblins. only hardening Flip Frickin's resolve. Once inside, Flip Frickin sounded the horn, letting his newfound army know it was time for battle. Zevlor gave a speech full of bullcrap and gaslit lies to fire up his goons. Flip Frickins and Minthara were not impressed. And Flip Frickins had a really weird smile. Roland, he's a selfish little boy that has big dreams to learn all the magical secrets of the world. Who knows what he's done to get what little knowledge he does have. He stole it. Cal, he's a man with so little spine you'd think he was actually an octopus or something. And I don't like people with no spine. So he's gonna die because of that, I decided. Leah, she seems to be a selfless hero, but she secretly has a reason to want to fight the goblins. She really, really likes murder. She gets super duper turned on by the sight of intense gore. Even if it's a goblin. Which, you know, is the worst part. That's a goblin. That's disgusting. Damon, he's just an innocent little blacksmith. Some may say, but I know better. He willingly worked for demons, made them the best weapons and tools he could, on purpose, and not because he was forced to. Kamira and Locke, they both used to pick pockets. The lamest kind of criminal. Imagine being so petty and such a coward to not go for something bigger that you just snatch up loose gold from people minding their own business. Cringe! Arca. She has a strong sense of justice, but it has been misguided. She has forced her fellow tieflings into helping her perform her so-called justice. But it was actually just simply murder. Not talking about Saza. Saza definitely deserved to die. But Arca has done this to people she just thought had a bad vibe. Not cool. And the rest of the tieflings, I'll just list them off now. Rika, murder. Kaldani stole healing potions from the dying. Eligus gave people ligma. And I'll let you know what ligma is if you ask me down in the comments. Nadira, stalker. Memnos, super violent. Torin, arsonist. Asharak, kidnapping. Gewix, burglary. Iramas, inhumane acts. That's all I'll say. Zoru, assault. Octa, terroristic acts. Tilsis, counterfeiting. Panderna, drug dealer. Volo, he's a total liar. All his stories are 99% lies. He even tries to make others play into it by gaslighting them. Untruthful people are icky gross. Saza, she's in the grove, and we all know goblins are evil, so yeah. She deserves to die too. And the battle begun. Flip Frickins quickly set Zevlor's equipment on fire, causing him to be completely helpless. And with the help of Minthara's goblins, made quick work of the first line of the grove's defenses. Once taking out the rest of the tieflings, Minthara let Flip Frickins know that the druids were now cornered down in their lair. Flip Frickins and his team had a hard fight against Kaga and her evil druids. But in the end, Flip Frickins and the greater good triumphed. Flip Frickins returned to Minthara to inform her of the victory, and to say thanks for the help. But Minthara wanted more than just Flip Frickins' thanks. She in fact wanted his body. But Minthara wasn't really Flip Frickin's type, so he politely declined. But Minthara wouldn't take a no for an answer. After realizing Minthara was a horny monster, Flip Frickins had no choice but to take her down too. And finally, peace had been restored to the lands. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video.